Morning all. Good morning everyone. All right, let's see, before we quickly rush off to work, I need to leave here in 45 minutes, what we can talk about today. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. We are trying to get to 30,000 subscribers by September. Someone actually sent me a DM, said I'm on track to get to 30,000. I don't know why I'm doing that. On track to get to 30,000 by January. We have to do it before September. We have to. All right, quickly, before we move on, I mentioned, I think, on my live stream that I'm upgrading this mic. This mic has done me well. I can't lie. If anyone's starting up a YouTube channel, this is the mic for you. £15. It's called a Boya M1. You plug it in your phone, your Android phone, and that's it. Literally plug and play. This, though, is the big boy of the division. So this is like five-a-side football. This is Premier League. The SM7B Shure mic. Now, I call it the Joe Rogan mic. This is the mic he uses. So yeah, massive upgrade. Cost a lot of money, but very happy to get it. So this is what we're going to use going forward. Not now, because I have to get a few other things in order for it to work, but yeah, very happy. So thank you to you all for this, by the way. This isn't me, this is you guys that have helped me get this. We are going to upgrade the camera. There's loads of things we're going to do, but this was the first thing I wanted to get out of the way. So that's that. All right, let's talk boxing. Amir Khan was on, let me have some rocket fuel first, please, because this is going to be a bit of a rant. Amir Khan was on Talk Sport. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? I think it was with Gareth A. Davis and I think Adam Cattrall for their fight night. And see, this is why I'm always a bit, like, I love what I do. I love the fact that I've got my own show on TalkSport. I love the fact that I speak to boxers a lot on TalkSport. But it's very difficult for me to not be genuine. Like, when I'm here, I say whatever I want, right? On this green chair, I say what I want. But if I was Gareth A. Davis and Khan said the things he said, it would have been very difficult for me to say, you're lying, or oh, please, or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It would have been very difficult, and that's not professional. That's not professional. So I'm guessing if you're Adam Cattrall and Gareth A. Davis, I know what you're really thinking, but you can't say what you're really thinking. You can't. So basically, Amir Khan came on, and he was like, yeah, you know, I've reached out to Eddie Hearn and to KELL Brook's dad, who is KELL Brook's manager, and, you know, let's get the fight on. Let's get the fight on, and, you know, KELL Brook's dad said, you know, we've got other plans. They don't want the fight. That's what Amir Khan said. He also went on to say, look, we're kind of both maybe past our best now, but it's still a fight that makes sense, or something along those lines. I find that just, like, I try not to get too angry and upset with things in boxing just because boxing is full of bullshit and we all know it, right? I mean, if you're a boxing fan, you know it's just full of crap, like crap. But it gives us some good fights, so we kind of accept that crap, right? It gives us so much goodness when there is a good matchup. You almost forget the 6 months before that. Like if we get AJ Fury versus, for example, in the summer, you forget the fact that we didn't get AJ Wilder. You forget all the years build up, all that rubbish. You forget it because you know what, you got AJ Fury. With Amir Khan Brook, I don't think I'm ever going to forgive Amir Khan for not having that fight. I don't know why. I should, because Amir Khan's got a fantastic CV. Amir Khan's gone on to have some amazing fights. Amir Khan, for me, was the best 140-pounder in the world at one stage. I had him above Timothy Bradley and Devon Alexander. But the fight I wanted to see was Amir Khan, KELL Brook. It's all I cared about for about 7 years. 7 years. On the thumbnail, I say 5 years too late. That's being realistic. I could have said 10 years too late, but 10 years didn't make sense. So 10 years ago, KELL Brook was fighting the likes of Carson Jones for an international IBF belt. I remember Amir Khan at the time, who had beaten Zab Judah and Paulie Malignaggi. I remember the interview where Amir Khan saying, no, KELL has to get a world title. And I fully understand it. Amir Khan's got world titles. He's at 140. For him to want to step up to 147 and fight KELL has to be for a reason. It's not going to be because the crowd want it or for an international belt. There's got to be something more on the line, right? If Amir Khan wants to become a champion in another weight class, there's got to be something more on the line. It can't be, oh, because it's an all-British clash. Then what happened is what annoyed me. So Khan then lost to Lamont Peterson as a fight of 41, but then he got knocked out by Danny Garcia, right? He then came back, and you've got to understand the timeline here a bit. He then came back and had very, very good wins. I thought career best wins over Devin Alexander and Louis Collazo. This is around 2015 now. I could be wrong, but I think it's around 2014-15. KELL BROOK went to Sean Porter's backyard, went to America and beat an unbeaten Sean Porter and became the IBF champion. They're both now at welter. Now you make the fight. That fight there is now prime. It's a prime beef steak. It's there. You make it. Has to happen then, right? Khan even had a really, I thought, awful performance against Algieri, but you still make it. Then KELL BROOK's taken fights against Frankie Gavin and Beezer and Jojo Dan, all these fights. And I'm like, oh, what's going on? You make the fight. It's there. It's a pay-per-view. I'm telling you now, sells out Wembley. Sells out Wembley. That's how big the fight is. It's a monster of a fight at 147. Doesn't happen. That fight only doesn't happen because of Amir Khan. Look, and I'm not saying that as a KELL BROOK fanboy, but it's fact. That fight only doesn't happen because of Amir Khan. You guys remember when Amir Khan was on, I think, toe-to-toe with Spencer Fearon, and Spencer even said it. If you don't fight KELL BROOK, like now, the British public, the British boxing public, will never forgive you. He said it. You all remember that interview. Well done to Spence, by the way, for saying it, because not a lot of people have said that on TV, but he said it. And then what happened? Well, then Khan went and fought Canelo. Then Brook went and fought Golovkin, and then the fight died, right? Khan got smashed to pieces. Brook got smashed to pieces, and then I lost interest. But then my interest kind of came again. I have to be honest with you. After they both got smashed, they both had a couple of wins. KELL BROOK went and got beat by Errol Spence, took a long time out. Then he had a couple of wins at 154 pounds, and Khan had a couple of wins as well. Weren't great, but remember, he signed to Matchroom. And in the press conference, he's talking about the reason I've signed to Matchroom is for KELL BROOK. Then what happened though? When you could have made the fight then. The fight could have been made then. Then it could have been made, right? It's true. Khan had a couple of wins, not great wins. Remember, he had a couple of wins against that Canadian guy and Vargas. You could have made it then. Was it a big fight? No, but you could have made it. Khan went and fought Crawford. Brook went and fought Crawford. And now Khan is coming onto Talk Sport saying, let's make the fight. Right. And you know, it's funny as well. Sorry about this rant. I really need to go to work, you know. You know what's funny about this as well? People say, oh, but you'd still watch it. Like that means anything. Of course I'll still watch it. I'd watch guys have a fight in the pub. Literally, a fight could break out right now on the top of my street. I'm watching that. I watch area level fights. I watch English level fights. You know, I go and watch sparring. So the idea of you saying, yeah, but you still would watch Khan and Brook means nothing, because I watch fights. That's what I do. I love watching fights. So the idea of, oh yeah, you watch it, isn't an argument to make. The idea is, yes, I would have watched it, but it would have been a massive fight 5 years ago, 6 years ago. It would have been massive. But now Khan's talk. There can't be any boxing fan out there, that is telling me, or you're trying to believe what Khan's saying, that, oh, somehow Brook didn't want the fight or doesn't want the fight. Stop it, man. Like, come on, stop it. I've had conversations with Brook about this Khan thing, and like, you almost could hear just the annoyance in his voice about it. The annoyance. Of course he wanted that fight. Of course he did. A, it's a fight he definitely 1,000,000,000% believes he can win. And B, it was a big money fight for him. Why would he not want that fight? And the arguments as to why Khan wouldn't want it, and some people say, yeah, but Khan went up and fought Canelo and Crawford. What? He's not scared of Brook. That's not the thing. You definitely don't want to lose to a fellow Brit. There's something about it, right? I mean, when you're going to fight Crawford and Canelo, those are fights you're going to lose anyway. So no one expects you to win. If you win, I mean, you literally are putting yourself in the Mount Rushmore. It's pound for pound status. If you lose, yeah, you're supposed to lose. If you lose to Brook after all the chat for 10 years, trust me, it kills you. You're dented. You're done. That's why he never wanted to fight Brook. And now he comes on to Talk Sport and says, oh, I'm trying to reach out to his manager and Eddie Hearn. Why do people listen to this bullshit? I'm so happy I wasn't on that fight night. I'm so happy. So happy because, again, you'd have to swallow your pride and just like, you'd have to almost lie to yourself. Anyway. Let's hurry up and run through some stories quickly, yeah? What we got here? Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. versus Anderson Silva. A deal reached for June 19th. Okay. Don't know what to make of that one, but all right. The funny thing is, like, if Julio is serious, he smashes Anderson Silva, you know? You know, the funny thing is, when you get guys in MMA that are good strikers, I mean, they're good because sometimes I do feel like the striking, and when I say striking, mainly the boxing, because not the kickboxing, because there's some really good kickboxers over there. The striking isn't great, so it makes them look good. If Anderson Silva was to step into a boxing ring, I think we'd all be like, my God, his striking isn't that good. So if Julio Cesar Chavez really steps up, then I expect Anderson Silva to be beaten quite easily here. I'll tell you who's a very, very good striker, actually, in MMA. I'm convinced can cross over and kick some ass in boxing. That's Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Sorry, her name's so difficult to pronounce. She, I know, could destroy a few female boxers. I know she can. Her hands are so fast and good. I'd love to see her cross over, but obviously she's doing her thing in MMA. And I think she might only have a couple more fights left there as well. So who knows? She might. Hunter aims to topple Hrgovic, secure a shot at Fury Joshua winner. Well, that's the aim. I don't know what's going on with this one. I mean, has it gone to purse bids yet? Like, what's happening with that fight? Again, it almost feels like everyone's waiting for this Fury Joshua announcement to kind of see where the cards lie, or sorry, the cards fall. But we'll see. Guys, this weekend, I might be doing a watch along, as we always do, for Frampton Herring. I forgot, well, I didn't forget it was this weekend, actually, because I spoke to his trainer, Jamie Moore, yesterday. But Frampton Herring this weekend, obviously Frampton bidding to become a free weight world champion, right? I mean, that's it. That's 1 foot in the Hall of Fame if he beats Jamel Herring. This fight has been postponed a couple of times. Frampton does look in fantastic shape when you see those kind of behind the scene things that Chris Lloyd's been doing. It's been fantastic, by the way. If you haven't seen them, go and watch them. They're amazing. So he does look in great shape, but I do wonder about the activity. This is Frampton that fought, I think, 3 times in 2018, 1 fight in 2019, 1 fight in 2020, and obviously this 1 fight in 2021. Not as active as he would like to be. The injury as well as to why this last fight was called off. It's a big ask. It's a big ask, but it should be a big ask fighting for a world title. It should be a big ask becoming a freeweight world champion. It should be. But yeah, I might be doing a live stream about that. I will let you guys know. What other news have we got? Josh Taylor named the British Box Board of Control Boxer of the Year for 2020. All right, just so you guys know how this works. This is from August 2019 to December 2020. So it's almost like a year and 4 months as opposed to the whole of 2020. Obviously, COVID and stuff. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Progray was October of 2019. I'm trying to think, who else is that? Immediately, well, I mean, Joshua, comeback fight against Ruiz, good victory, right? To lose your belts and come back. And then what's he done so far? Pulev, Tyson Fury, Wilder. I mean, so, got to be Fury in it. No? That Wilder fight? I mean, it's only one really performance in that, but I mean, wasn't he Ring Magazine Fight of the Year alongside Teofimo Lopez? Yeah, it's got to be, I think, and this is not me, I think it's got to be Fury. It's cold now. I mean, nothing better than coffee in the morning, but nothing worse than cold coffee in the morning. All right, what we got? I've not even really talked about Hutchinson, have I? That was a massive defeat. Massive defeat, by the way. You know, it makes me laugh. Like, I was looking at it the other day. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'm talking about the Frank Warren card the other day. Adentan lost as well, right? Cruiserweight, first fight. I know of him. I actually reached out to him on Instagram and said, look, chin up, come again. But Willie Hutchinson, I mean, Frank was holding him. I'm sure Frank said something like, could be the next Joe Calzaghe and stuff. Look, it's only one defeat, but the step up was huge. So the arrogance in this matchmaking is incredible. So in 2019, he had 4 fights, yeah? But he was fighting guys 7-24, 9-10, 5-9, 11-26. And now in 2020, he fought 6-29, 2-2, 15-7. The 15-7 was his first fight against a guy with a winning record. And yes, he had done well in all those fights. They then put him in with Lennox Clark, who was 19-1. Sort your matchmaking out, mate. Sort it out. But yeah, that's really bad matchmaking. Devin Haney, Jorge Linares. That fight is now done. We kind of knew it was going to happen anyway, but it's set for May 29th at Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. They are talking about a 50% capacity crowd. America's so weird, and it's literally whatever state you are, depends on how many people can attend the boxing match, it seems, because Canelo versus Billy Joe Saunders is full capacity. Full, like 60,000. So yeah, it's crazy. But that's a decent fight. I like that. I mean, I expect Devin Haney to win. I think a lot of us do. But Jorge Linares, for me, still looks sharp, man. Still looks sharp. Obviously, it isn't the Jorge Linares, but still Jorge Linares. Derek Chisora will use Buddy McGirt as trainer for Joseph Parker bout. Yeah, I kind of knew about this story, if I'm honest with you, about 2 weeks ago. But it's only been announced now. Don't know, man. All this switching of, like, all this new trainer for Chisora, like, since he left Don Charles, how many trainers has he had? 4? Is it 4? 3? No, I think it might be 4 trainers, right? I mean, obviously, he was with Dave Caldwell for a little bit. Let's not forget that. And then it was a case of he either couldn't go up to Sheffield or Dave Caldwell couldn't come down to Kent or to London. I mean, look, Buddy McGirt's a legit trainer, but how much work can you put in with Chisora when the fight is 8 weeks away or 7 weeks away? Is it even that long? I don't think it's even that long, is it? Like, how much work can you put in? Or is it just a case of a famous name in the corner? Strange. But then again, Joseph Parker's doing it with Andy Lee. But the thing about Joseph Parker is I think he will stay with Andy Lee regardless. I think that's his now full-time trainer. Win or lose, I can't see Buddy McGirt and Chisora staying with each other. I think it's just for this one. We shall see. What else we got here? Anything else before we pack? Before we rush off to work? I saw this one. Fury's father and Joshua fight. They have no date, no venue. They have nothing. Well, he's not wrong, though, is he, about this? As much as people said, "Oh, Addy, don't listen to him. You know they're lying and they're talking rubbish." They have no date and they have no venue. I mean, is that a lie? Some people seem to have been like, "Oh yeah, but why is he saying this thing?" It's true. They have no date. They have no venue. They have no date, no venue. All this 28 days to sort this thing out now. I'm pretty sure we're down to like 15 days or something like that. So we're down to 2 weeks. I don't know. And we keep hearing like, "Oh no, there's so many people want this fight," right? That's what Eddie Hearn has said. Like, there's so many that want this fight. So many, like, we're getting tons. I think he said something like 30 applicants or 30 applications to host this fight. Let's do it then. What I will say is that you have a team of promoters that collectively probably have something like 100+ years experience of promotion. You know, like Bob Arum, I don't know, 60 years of promotion, Frank, 40 years or thereabouts, and then Eddie, 10 years. I mean, if they can't get this fight together, then maybe no one can. And literally, if there's a problem and they can't solve the problem, then, you know, and then you've got other people in the background as well. So there's a lot of people around. If they can't solve this issue, then this fight is never going to happen, right? Never. Well, let me calm down, Addy. Not never, but yeah. Let's just hope it happens sooner rather than later. Dylan White, no reason I should wait anymore. Molina, Brazil got title shots. Yeah. Eric Molina's fought twice for a world title. Dominic Brazil has fought twice for a world title. When you think of it like that, then yeah, he's absolutely right. Like, why am I waiting for a shot when, I mean, these guys who were not deserving, especially Dominic Brazil in the second fight with Wilder. Sorry, his fight with Wilder, his second title shot. How was he deserving of that? That was a disgrace. So what does that mean then? Does that mean Dillian Whyte might just sit it out? Is that what it means? Is that what it means? I wonder if you offered Dillian Whyte the opportunity. All right, say the belts become vacant, yeah? Say they all, I don't know, just hear me out. So say the belts become vacant and they're all over the place, and Dillian Whyte fights, I don't know who's ranked number 2 or 3 by the WBC, but he fights the number 2 or number 3 ranked. So he's got his WBC title shot. It won't be the same money, right? But it'll be good money, right? He'll get good money. If you offered him that, or you offered him Wilder, 60,000 pay-per-view, Emirates Stadium, no title, but Wilder, I wonder what he would take. So what I'm trying to get at is it the belt he wants, or is it the big money fight, like the huge money fight he wants? I sometimes wonder what it is. Look, to be fair, Wilder could be the number 2 or number 3 ranked in the WBC rankings, probably is, but remove that. So I'm saying if Dillian Whyte had to fight a guy that isn't really as well known, so it's not a massive money fight for a world title, would he take that, or would he take Wilder, Emirates Stadium? I say Emirates because I don't think it would do Wembley, but Emirates Stadium, 60,000 for huge money, and it will be huge money, that fight. I think he'll take Wilder, you know. I'm probably wrong, he'll probably take the WBC shot. But sometimes I do believe that, like, we all want, and like, I get it, it's easy for me to say what I'm going to say now when he hasn't won a world title shot, but I do remember what Mike Tyson used to say about those belts. Like, he used to look at them in disgust, like just rubber and metal. It's all about that, he said, all about that. It's easy to say though, because Mike Tyson was world champion. So I do wonder what Dillian Whyte wants. Does he want a world title shot, or does he want the money? And the reason I say that, and we'll end on this, is let's not forget, before Anthony Joshua fought Ruiz, remember he was supposed to fight Wilder. Remember that? Do you remember all this, by the way? That didn't happen. And then they offered the fight. The fight was offered to Dillian Whyte, Wembley, 4 belts on the line. Remember? And his complaint at the time was something in the contract regarding the rematch. Like, it was already, like, and that's the reason he didn't take the fight. Then in the end, obviously AJ went. It was supposed to be Miller, then it was Ruiz. So a world title shot was offered to him, but there was something in the contract which is about that, which is what I'm getting at, as to why he turned the fight down. So I do wonder, is it a world title shot, or is it that? Has to be that. Or both. We're done.